The 26th day of May 2020 it is. Good afternoon and welcome to Channel 1 Lunchtime News on a day that the ruling Jubilee Party held a disciplinary committee sitting which is currently underway. We'll be getting to that. But welcome for a comprehensive report right here on Channel 1. I'm Ben Troy Njue at Channel 1, at KBC Channel 1 is the Twitter handle to use, or at Ben Troy Njue. And currently I'm informed that the Jubilee Disciplinary Committee meeting or hearing is currently underway at Pangani's Jubilee headquarters right here in Nairobi. That is where we will begin from.
And as I mentioned to you earlier, that the disciplinary committee is chaired by Mr. Lumatete. He is a lawyer who qualifies to be a judge of the High Court. He follows very strictly procedures that are required even in the High Court, so that we have, as complainants, to be able to satisfy him that our complaints have got merit. This morning, we had one of the complainants against the 4 or the 5 nominated senators. The party had its complaints, but one of the accusers
Apologies for that technical hitch, but speaking is Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju. Remember, today they were holding a disciplinary committee sitting at the Jubilee headquarters right here in Nairobi, and Irene Mchuma is there. We'll be coming up with the latest, or as soon as we are able to rectify that technical hitch. Well, to more news. The state of quarantine facilities in Migori County has come into focus after another group of 12 people escaped just 2 days after a similar occurrence. The police record indicate that the 12 escapees had raised complaints about the pathetic state of the center, but their pleas had been disregarded.
According to police reports, the 12 sneaked out of St. Mary's Mabera Secondary School Isolation Center after complaining of poor sanitization and overcrowding. David Marwa, a clinician who made the reports to police, said only 2 of the escapees left their records at the facility, making it difficult to trace the others.
He was immediately arrested by the community who brought him back. Of course, keeping a safe distance. They noticed him, and because of their kind of reaction, he was able to come back. The other one has been brought back also today. He's been gotten from the community. He's been brought back to the quarantine center.
The team in the county are still searching for 7 others who escaped last week. The county health executive Iska Olwach said that none of the escapees is yet to be traced, although security officers at Mabera Police Post are following all possible leads.
So we have other 5 who are still at large, but our team are out and we are actually tracing them. As I speak, we have already established their names, their villages, their telephone numbers, and the search is ongoing on. We are together with the police officers and the CID to make sure that this works well. And the collaboration or partnership between us and the national government is that strong.
The 12 were part of 20 who were arrested at a bar in Migori town while drinking during the curfew hours last week. A contingent of security officers has been deployed to Ntimaru, Kogaja, Goitembe and Kopanga borders.
Has not put up very strict measures on control of their borders. I want to say that is the major challenge or cause of panic for Migori County. All the cases we have a history of Tanzania, except one case.
Sisi watu wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania atuendelee kutuzibia kabisa mpaka, ndugu yangu. Wote ni mandugu, sisi ni Wakuria na wale ni Wakuria, ni watu wetu wote. Tumeomba hata kama ni jeshi weke mpaka Nyamaranya na Morabu yote ifunge hiyo mpaka tunaomba hiyo tafadhali.
Border Patrol Unit is also conducting maritime surveillance in Muhuru Bay, Migingo Highland and other beaches bordering Tanzania. Ben Chumba reporting for Channel 1 News.
From that, we head back to our earlier story where newly elected Senate Majority Whip and Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata is currently addressing the media at Jubilee headquarters. Let's listen in.
Thank you. Good. Thank you very much. We'll give you a chance to ask all the questions when we are finished with the announcements. We just want to let you know the NMC, we did make our proposals as to who should be joining the NMC. We addressed our communication to the Registrar of Political Parties. We also put an announcement in the newspapers and gave 14 days for those who have got any objections to send them to the party so that our own internal party mechanism may be able to address any issues. Under the chairmanship of our chairman and an ad hoc committee that was created to look at those complaints, the committee dismissed all the complaints that had been sent to the party with respect to those who were nominated for the NMC position. The main basis being that no single evidence was adduced against any of those who were proposed to join the NMC. Nothing on their character, nothing on their CVs, nothing that violated the law. Because if you say that so-and-so should not serve in this committee or should not serve in the NMC, none of those particular complaints addressed the problems that you may be able to say would stop those people in serving in the NMC. So last week, we already sent the communication to the Registrar of Political Parties that the NMC will remain as we proposed, and we have looked at the law. There's no need to gazette them anymore. We have dealt with our internal mechanism, and therefore they are members of the NMC. Another announcement I'd like to make is that the NMC will meet from tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with the sole purpose of doing what the NMC is also supposed to do, is to prepare the agenda and the issues that will be addressed by the NEC. We hope to have a NEC meeting very soon. We are only waiting for the party leader to give us a time when he's available to be able to meet the NEC. So the NEC meeting can be any time from Thursday onwards. We will communicate to all members of the NEC. They'll all be invited. If anybody has got any objections to the actions that have been taken so far, then they'll be able to raise them at that NEC meeting. There's
Apologies for that weak signal, but talking there is Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju, who is talking about them using the rule of law actually to find a solution. Remember, 5 rebel Jubilee senators had been summoned to the party headquarters, and he has said that the National Executive Committee meeting could be, of the Jubilee Party, could be anytime from Thursday, but they will be meeting tomorrow in the morning at around 9 for the purpose of preparing agenda to be addressed by the Jubilee National Executive Committee. And as I had alluded earlier, we'll be having a much more comprehensive report in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, transport ministers of East Africa Community member states are expected to meet today to find a solution on cargo delays and other challenges being experienced by truck drivers at common border points. The forum comes hours after a meeting between the Kenya Principal Secretaries for East African Community and Transport and Truckers flopped after both parties failed to reach a consensus.
Representatives of drivers operating in the Great Lake region who have been protesting in Malaba, Busia County have vowed to stay put until their security is granted by the government of Uganda. The drivers lamenting that they have been suffering in their hands by armed soldiers from the neighboring country. Transport Principal Secretary Solomon Kitungu urged the more than 5,000 drivers to open up the highway, and those aggrieved to file official complaints with relevant authorities in both countries.
All the issues have been discussed, and therefore I think the only thing for them is the assurance that their problems will continue being solved. That's all they were asking for.
East African Community Principal Secretary Kevin Desai acknowledged that dealing with COVID-19 pandemic requires collaborated effort from EAC member states.
And it's up to all of us to see how we actually create the necessary systems and the policy frameworks and structures. In both cases, both in terms of Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania, we've seen and witnessed over the last 5 or 6 weeks high-level discussions which are consistently, week after week, with the heads of states as well as at ministerial level, commended efforts to ensure that trade continues.
The EAC transport ministers are expected to issue a joint statement on COVID-19 testing protocols to be adopted by all member states amid tensions caused by truck drivers protesting harassment and delayed results.
And Kenyans of goodwill from different spheres of life have taken it on themselves to complement the government's efforts in the fight against the COVID-19. In Kirinyaga, a local SACCO held a massive fumigation exercise at Kirugoya police station in a bid to keep the killer virus at bay.
Even as the country, through the Ministry of Health, continues to step up efforts to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, Olion SACCO was not left out in the fight. For the better part of the day, the SACCO carried out massive fumigation at Kirugoya Police Station, Kirinyaga County. Among the offices that were fumigated were County Commander's Office, Kirinyaga Central OCPD Office and Kirugoya Police Cells. SACCO Chairman Ndegwa Kamau says ordinarily police officers are the ones in charge of controlling and implementing the government directive, particularly the curfew, but there are times are oblivious of the danger staring at them.
Ugonjwa tuko nao, tuko na sisi, na ni kitu ambacho tunastahili kupambana nacho kila mwananchi ili tuone tumejaribu kukomesha.
Kamau revealed that they have decided to fumigate the police station since it's a key institution and caters for the welfare of hundreds of residents.
Hivyo sio fumigation tu peke yake. Kuna yale mambo tunafanya ya kwenda tukielimisha watu, kama ni wale ambao ni wateja wetu kwa SACCO wakija, lazima tuwaelimishe mambo ya keep distance, mambo ya kuvaa barakoa na mambo ya kuoga na kufanya sanitation. So we are doing all that.
Kirinyaga Central CPD Dorian Odor, who termed the SACCO's gesture as most welcoming, says that police officers need protection from the disease.
Area yetu imeendelea, imepulizwa dawa, tuko na madawa ya kunawa, tuko na sanitizers, tuko na the masks tulipewa hata na kutoka na kwa askari yetu. Kila askari walipewa the sanitizer na wakapewa the mask. So I believe we are covered.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Timothy Kipmasu.
And now to an internet sensation. A 4-year-old girl, Joy Jebi Ward of Emining Ward, Baringo County, has become an internet sensation on internet after her photo went viral for promoting her Kalenjin culture. Joy, who resides in the urban center of Eldamaravine, was moved to the rural side by her parents as a way of containing her and also keeping her from socializing with her peers amid the COVID-19 pandemic. But as Joy joyfully embraces the cultural practices such as fetching firewood and smearing houses, It turns out that the COVID-19 pandemic is consequentially taking Kenyans back to their roots. Take a look.
Joy Chebiwot from Emining Ward, Baringo County, is slowly learning her culture. Adorned in Kalenjin traditional regalia, the 4-year-old immerses herself into the rural setup, helping her elders in chores such as fetching firewood and lighting the fire. But Joy has found this opportunity thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. Her parents say she went to live with her grandparents to learn about the Kalenjin traditional culture.
When they announced that the coronavirus is here with us, we decided to take her to our grandmother. And then when they go to their grandmother, we tried to show what we used to do long time ago, that this is our culture. We are supposed to help our parents like this. We go to the forest, fetch firewood.
Nikuja kusaidia shosh kuchuna kuni na kuenda maji.
And as Kenyans adopt new ways of life in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, such as a limited interaction and wearing of face masks, individuals have also found a chance to diversify and explore available opportunities. Those who moved to the countryside like Joy, taking advantage of each moment. While eagerly learning her roles in the village, Joy's jovial character made her an internet sensation.
A few days or a few weeks ago, we began to see some photos of these kids trending. And as a parent, at first I was a bit worried or a bit concerned because the kid is too small. I thought maybe she's getting too much publicity and she's still small. But after reflecting on it, I saw it's something very good.
Nipigwa picha na dagi shy. Nikikuwa mkubwa nataka nikuwe pilot.
The parents also say such cultural practices are also in line with the new KBC curriculum that enhances talent and creativity.
Now that the schools have closed, they also have an opportunity to express or use the skills they have learned in the new curriculum, the KBC.
Kamchemenza for Channel 1 News.
Quite impressive. And if you haven't seen the photos, I can tell you for sure, she has a killer smile and perhaps a budding model. Well, on that note, we're taking our first quick short break, but when we come back, more news including business and sports.
We, umeingiaje kwa hii jikoni?
Wewe achana bwana, wewe ujui tulitokea wapi? Acha hata wewe toka hapa.
Wacha upuzi yako hiyo. Toka nje bwana.
Hii jikoni niko hapa ndani. Na nitakaa hapa ili make decision.
Wacha maneno yako bwana, toka nje bwana. Wewe unajua tulijenga hapa watu wawili hii jikoni.
Kupata sitoki jikoni, bonyeza *811 *818 #. Bonyeza *811 *818 #.
Wewe wacha zako bwana.
Tonight on Corner.
Sleep on the job? Why does everyone keep shouting?
This is the time he needs you. The two of you function best when you are a pair.
I've tried to make up. You have the audacity to judge me? I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, during working hours. And make an appointment like everyone else.
Welcome back, and it's always a pleasure having you for Channel 1. And of course, I have to appreciate Anthony K, who's watching from Homa Bay County, same as Steve Mola, and also Timothy Cherop watching from Solai, Nakuru. Well, to more news, a family in Weyomiriri, Laikipia County, is seeking justice for their kin, whom they claim was allegedly assaulted by security guards in cohort with a police officer at a bar in Wakongo Trading Center in Daragwa constituency. The family claims that the deceased died as a result of excessive bleeding following serious head injuries inflicted on him on Saturday night as he was caught up in the curfew hours.
According to family and friends, the 47-year-old Josephat Githinji Kindoini was in the company of 2 other friends when they were caught up in the ongoing curfew and were allegedly assaulted by security guards in cohort with a police officer.
Tulikuwa twende, huyo Githinji alikuwa anasema hawezi enda kwa giza usiku. Sasa huyu ndiye alikuwa anamsukuma akamwambia Githinji twende. Sasa mimi wakati sikia wamekaa kama wanang'ang'ana, mimi nikaenda kabisa.
Nikasikia kofi ni imelia wapi? Nikamwambia na mdomo mkubwa sana. Wacheni kumupiga. Mshikeni peleka selo. Kesho tuongee kesho. Kuambia hivyo ndio walinikimbisha wakanifikisha huko juu.
Elizabeth Nyaguthi, the deceased sister, recounts how she was informed of the attack and on arrival at the scene found that the deceased had been rushed to Nyahururu County and Referral Hospital.
Kuna ushugu na hiyo maneno. In fact hata tumewasha mama yetu hapo mzee ametuambia tukibie huku tujue na ndugu zetu. Sasa tunaomba ikiwa kuna uwezekano sheria ishikuliwe mkononi juu hawa walishukua sheria mikononi na wanasema ni Juba tu alikuwa anadai tu kulala.
Josephat Githinji Kindoini is said to have succumbed to injuries while undergoing treatment at Nakuru Hospital, where he had been rushed for specialized treatment. Nyandarua North Sub-County Police Commander Timon Odingo said that investigation were underway, noting that the 3 suspects, including the police officer, were in police custody. The police boss noted that the 3 will be arraigned in court for causing death. Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
Now to the recent rains, victims of recent floods in Budalangi constituency, Busia County, are slowly returning to their homes amid concerns they may not be capable of constructing new houses. They are now appealing for support from the county and national governments to help them rebuild their homes. After heavy rains destroyed homes in Budalangi constituency, residents are now faced with the challenge of building new houses. Many have expressed desire to go back home and start afresh. However, they lack resources. Staying in congested camps is no longer an option as they fear contracting the coronavirus that has so far affected 12 victims in Busia County.
Tumerundikana, hakuna mali nini, hakuna watoto anaweza sasa, ugonjwa anaweza hata pata huko watoto. Ndio sababu tumejiandaa ili tuweze kutengeneza hizi manyumba kidogo ili tuweze kama vile tunaweza rudi.
Another concern is the possibility of contracting malaria and other diseases. They now want the county and the national governments to help them end the perennial flooding to improve their lifestyles.
Hatuna wenye tunaweza ishi. Hatuna mahali pa kutoa, hata hakuna mahali pa kutoa pesa kujenga nyumba. Watoto wako hapo wanataka kwenda kusoma.
Naomba tu serikali kama inaweza tukusaidia ili watu watusaidie kupata mabati ili nikaweze kujenga nyumba, hata vile mnaona ile nyumba yangu ni ya nyasi.
Moving on, Nairobi Regional Commissioner Wilson Njenga has assured vulnerable families enlisted to receive funding from the government to cushion them from the coronavirus pandemic that they will not be swindled by cartels. Njenga says the money will be directly channeled to the beneficiaries through mobile phones as a way of cutting out brokers and swindlers.
Cartels na watu katikati inaenda directly kwa yule mtu anahusika, the household head. Lakini kwa wale ambao ni mayatima tunapatia caregiver ambao amekuwa identified ndio yako na hawa watoto. So hakuna mtu katikati. Na tunauliza wale watu beneficiary wakipata mtu anasema amewasaidia ama iko kitu inalipwa, alipoti kwetu. Kwa sababu cash ni indirect kwa wale ambao wanahusika. Hii pesa ambayo imetengwa kwa rehabilitation ya wells, water ponds na underground tanks ambayo imetengewa milioni 850 na ile ambayo Metropolitan Service pia inasaidia kusambaza maji ambayo ni ya free kwa ile mitaa ya mabanda. hiyo inaendelea, na pia serikali itatoa pesa, kwa hiyo imetoa kwa hiyo rehabilitation, na pia expanding now the distribution network.
Elsewhere, destitute children at Our Lady of Mercy Children Home in Mikindani, Mombasa County, had a reason to smile after they received food donations from well-wishers to cushion them from the effects of the COVID-19 scourge. Speaking after distributing the food items, Mikindani member of County Assembly Renson Juma Thoya called on government to also focus on the vulnerable population in the society, more so children homes, which are currently undergoing difficult times since the coronavirus outbreak was announced in the country. Lady of Mercy Children Home Coordinator Fatuma Abedi said the donations have been depleted and asked philanthropists to step in and save them from further crisis.
Changamoto tunapitia hapa ni wakati huu wa corona, tuko na watoto ndani kwa ndani, siwaruhusi watoke, na kisha halafu wamekosa masomo kwa muda mrefu. Manake kuna wa class 8 wako hapa hawaendi shuleni, na sina uwezo wa kusema nitaandika mwalimu aje hapa ili kuwasomesha. Siku itakapofunguliwa shule, wenda wakafanya mtihani waweze kupita vizuri.
Tunahakikisha kwamba tunatafuta makundi ya vijana, makundi ya kina mama, wahisani wema. Karibu kila wiki tunatembea kama mara 2 kuhakikisha kwamba wanapata ile posho. Kule vijijini nimeweza kuanzisha mradi mwingine ambao ninaita Sisi kwa Sisi Food Program, ambapo hata mfuko mmoja wa nusu kama umebaki kwa nyumba yako kuleta. Tunataka watu wajitokeze, tusaidiane wenyewe kwa wenyewe.
Vera Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika, and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET-approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design and soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725 923 550 Nairobi branch, 0728 087 689 Eldoret branch, 0722 22 7428 Thika branch, 0725 000 706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
Welcome back and straight to business. Equity Group Holdings has withdrawn the proposed dividend payout of 2 shillings and 50 cents per share in a decision the lender says is informed by the need to preserve capital in the face of the prevailing uncertainty occasioned by COVID-19. The bank, which had planned to pay a total of 9.5 billion shillings in dividend payouts to shareholders, the latest decision will enable the bank support its customers during the unfolding crisis and also direct cash resources to potential opportunities that may arise during economic recovery.
Shareholders of Kenya's largest listed bank by market capitalization, Equity Group Holdings, will not be receiving a 9.5 billion shillings dividend payout after it was withdrawn by the board. In a statement, Equity Group said the withdrawal follows the board's assessment of the risk. Group CEO James Mwangi says that the conservative approach recognizes the emerging and quantified risk of the pandemic, hence the decision to preserve capital in the face of the prevailing uncertainty. He says a strong capital and liquidity position gives the institution the strength and capacity to cushion the business and accommodate and work with customers during these challenging times. If the economic crisis mutates into a financial crisis, Equity Group will be well placed to weather the challenge with a strong capital base, strong liquidity, and an agile balance sheet that improves its leverage and would allow the financial services group to shield and accommodate its customers throughout this period of uncertainty. He expressed optimism that should the crisis not play out as anticipated, the board will explore various options and make suitable recommendations that will enhance shareholder value. Mwangi says the group leadership and management will focus on strategically positioning the business in order to protect and preserve its customer base through loan accommodations and restructuring to enable them go through the prevailing turbulence, while at the same time preserving cash to shore up the financial revival and the growth of its customers' businesses post the COVID-19 crisis. Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 Business.
Still on banks, the Cooperative Bank has renewed the special motor vehicle purchase schemes established with the major motor vehicle dealers, Isuzu East Africa and Simba Corporation Group, to enable micro, small and medium enterprises acquire the vehicles they need at favorable terms. The special scheme is bundled with the bank financing of up to 95% of the purchase price and $500,000 shillings loan in working capital. Here are the details of this and other stories in our business roundup.
Cooperative Bank has, for the 5th year running, renewed the special motor vehicle purchase schemes with Isuzu East Africa and Simba Corporation Group. Cooperative Bank Head Business Banking Moses Gitau says the decision follows popularity of the joint scheme among SMEs who have hailed it as the most affordable means of acquiring a wide selection of pickups, canters and trucks. Under the deal, Cooperative Bank offers financing of up to 95% of the purchase price, in addition to offering a working capital of $500,000 shillings to support the businesses. Gitau says the $500,000 working capital facility is aimed at supporting businesses, especially during the difficult COVID-19 season. Meanwhile, the price of houses continued to decline during the first 3 months of this year in a trend compounded by constrained ability of potential buyers to afford homes currently on offer in the market. This is according to the latest Kenya Bankers Association House Price Index that indicates that house prices decelerated by 0.54% in the reviewed period, reversing the 0.61% negative growth rate recorded in the previous quarter. This means that based on the KBA House Price Index, house prices have remained in the deceleration path for the 5th consecutive quarter. The trend, according to the index, reflects buyers' adjustments with affordability being a key concern in the housing market. During the period under review, demand for bungalows and maisonettes went down by 95.9% and 57.1% respectively. Unlike previous quarters, where apartments dominated house demand, townhouses were the most preferred by buyers during the first 3 months of this year, followed by apartments and maisonettes.
And across borders, the New York Stock Exchange reopened its trading floor on Tuesday after a 2-month closure due to the coronavirus pandemic. The bourse is one of the few bourses still to feature floor trading. Most have shifted to fully electronic trading. Here are the details of this and other stories from across the globe.
New York City has been hit hard by the outbreak with some 200,000 cases and more than 20,000 deaths as the New York Stock Exchange reopens its trading floor on Tuesday after a 2-month closure due to the coronavirus pandemic. Only a quarter of the normal number of traders will be allowed to return to work. Under the new measures, traders must also avoid public transport, wear masks, and follow strict social distancing rules, with newly fitted transparent barriers to keep people apart. They will also be screened and have their temperatures taken as they enter the building. The New York Stock Exchange is one of the few bourses to still feature floor trade, as most have shifted to fully electronic trading. Meanwhile, Lufthansa has agreed to a rescue deal worth €9 billion with the German government that saves it from collapse. The German airline has been severely affected by a decline in travel due to the coronavirus and closed its budget airline Germanwings in April. The German government will take a 20% stake in the firm, which it intends to sell by the end of 2023. But the deal still has to be approved by the firm's shareholders and the European Commission. As part of the rescue package, the German government will also inject €5.7 billion in non-voting capital, which is known as a silent participation. Finally, senior U.S. economist Kevin Hassett says the unemployment rate in the United States may surpass 20% in May, and it will be even worse for the next month. The White House economic advisor pointed out that the unemployment rate is expected to drop after June as the pandemic situation eases. However, Hassett pointed out that the U.S. unemployment rate could remain at double-digit levels by at least November. It is highly unlikely that the country could return to full employment by fall. Data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that the unemployment rate soared by 14.7% in April, the highest since the Great Depression in the 1930s.
And back home, the government has secured a 10 billion shillings 5-year loan facility from the World Bank that will be used to enhance deep-sea fishing at the Indian Ocean. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says 5 coastal counties will receive half of the funds to train and equip locals with deep-sea fishing skills and offer loans to fishermen and traders in the fishing value chain.
It is looking at supporting not only the fisheries value chains, but also high-value agriculture value chains, such as moringa, chili, and oil crops, which will promote job creation and incomes for the displaced fishers and their dependents.
Looking at our marine fisheries, we have some potential there, almost 300,000 metric tons plus, which has never been exploited for a variety of reasons, because of the complexity of the sea itself as an environment, and also because we haven't had enough resource base within our coastal communities moving forward.
Time to play now. We start with the Sports Dispute Tribunal, which is expected to give a ruling on the fate of the 2020-2021 KPL season after Chemelil Sugar and KPL Limited moved to the tribunal to challenge its cancellation by Football Kenya Federation. FKF announced the completion of the football season, in the process declaring Gor Mahia as the champions, a move that was contested by KPL and football clubs. KPL accuses FKF of unilateralism and reneging on the agreement reached of allowing KPL to run the league up to September 2020. The Kenya Premier League was halted on March 16th following the government's ban on public gatherings to control the spread of coronavirus. Prior to 8 Gor Mahia had led the standings with 54 points, 7 ahead of second-placed Kakamega Homeboys, with 11 times champion Tusker FC were placed third. That was contested by KPL and football clubs. KPL accuses FKF of reneging an agreement that they had reached. Definitely something for our local sports fan to look out for today when the Sports Dispute Tribunal makes its finding. Well, that's all the time we had for Channel 1 Lunchtime News. I'm Ben Troenjwe. Byron Abuli has been our sign language interpreter for this afternoon. I wish you a blessed afternoon.